everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Mary. If you've been with us before, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. Glad to have you here. For today's video, I thought it would be a lot of fun to just sit down and play with some makeup. If you've been with us before, I do a lot of brand new face videos here on the channel, but I like to sometimes mix it up here now and then and do other makeup related videos. So today is kind of just a fun play with makeup day. We're really going to focus it on the eyes though. So basically, since starting this channel, I came across another YouTube influencer or a makeup channel. Her name is Iliana's Vanity. I hope I'm saying that right. And this is from like 2020, so years ago. She created this really cute and fun pink holiday look. And I was like, oh, I want to recreate that. So that's what we're doing today. I will make sure to pop up a reference photo here of the look that we're creating. And I will reference and link to her channel down below so you can check her out. When going back and trying to find this video here again, I was like, I should really check out more of her videos because she's got a really nice and structured looking channel and just great looking makeup content videos. So referencing her down below, and I'm excited to kind of reference that video of hers and recreate this holiday look. Now it's made with like pinks and stuff like that, and I'm recording this the day after New Year's, but it probably won't go up until probably closer to the end of January or maybe start of February. So it honestly could even be a really good Valentine's Day look as well, or just a general good looking pink glam look, I think. So I think this look can be good for kind of multiple occasions, but super duper excited, rambling on here a good amount. So I'm gonna go ahead and, because this is gonna be a very eye focused video, I did go ahead and already prep my eyes with some concealer. I used the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer and then set that down slightly with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder here. And then I also went ahead and just quickly did my brows off camera, put the brow hairs in place with the Wander Beauty Clear Brow Gel, and then wanted to get a little bit more use of the Undone Beauty Brow Pen here. So those are all good to go. Let's get you zoomed in here and start creating this eye look. Okay, I think that's a pretty decent zoom in. I'll try to keep in frame as best as possible. Okay, so for this look, I've had this makeup palette for years now. It was one of the first things that I purchased through BoxyCharm. It didn't come in like one of their monthly subscriptions, I don't believe. I think it was a separate purchase that I made through their site. I have not used it yet. I honestly don't even know if it's around. I think it's a limited edition of their palettes, but I thought it would be perfect for this look, and I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. It just like dawned on me the other day. I'm like, oh, this is the reason to use this palette. So this is the Marc Jacobs Electric palette. So beautiful glitter packaging here, and then opened up here. It's got such stunning looking eyeshadows, and I've gone ahead and I've swatched these multiple times before, but just have not used it. I have not dipped in and played with it on the eyes here yet, so I am super duper excited to be finally doing something with this palette. So I think, yeah, I mean, we can basically, yeah, we have no reason to jump into any other palettes for any reason, because I think a good chunk of the shadows in here match somewhat similar to what she used on her eyes as well. So to start off, I'm going to use a Mateo Beauty brush here. This is just kind of like an all over all over kind of blending brush, I'd say. And we're gonna start by dipping into this lighter kind of cool brown shade here first. Oh, I'm so excited. It's so goofy. Ugh. Oh. And we're just going to start blending this into the crease, get our shape put together, and build up that transition. I want to make sure that I bring that just a little bit lower because this will be a cut crease look. I want to make sure I have the shadows low enough. I sometimes tend to bring, because I have slightly hooded eyes, I try to focus this transition shade a little bit higher, and I create this gap sometimes where there's like less product. So trying to make sure I bring this also low enough so that it I can cut the crease properly. Next, we will go into that next darkest brown shade here and just kind of define that crease a little bit more and then start to build up some depth on the outer third of the eye here. And I want to make sure to bring this in good amount again for that cut crease to make sure we really see that change, that cut. Now I'm just going to take a clean Morphe M573 blending brush and just, with no product on there, lightly go along the edges, make sure that that's nicely diffused. Now we will go into the cut crease. Now I don't do a lot of cut creases, so this is always a little bit of a challenge, or just, yeah, always just a little bit of a learning curve for me on this, so we'll see how it turns out. So grabbing that Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer here again, and then I'm going to use a ColourPop E3, just like a dense kind of crease brush here. We will try to cut the crease. I'm just going to start by taking a little bit of product on the brush, dabbing it on the lid here, and then just opening the eye to see how high of a guide we need. And this will be a half crease. We're not going to cut the entire lid. Okay, and then because I have hooded eyes here, before I go in on the other one, I will take, and I'm just going to start with my finger, I'm going to take this lightest shade in the Marc Jacobs palette, press that over the concealer so that it hopefully doesn't crease on us. Not my favorite. I didn't achieve that as well as I wanted to, but it's still nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye here now. There is that cut crease attempted. It doesn't look very cut creasy. Definitely something I should work on. I don't think that I made the darker brown dark enough to see that full line. So I'm going to try and recreate that a little bit here and then deepen up out here a little bit more again. So I'm going to use a Morphe M213 brush. This is just like a small little detailed brush. Dipping back into that deepest shade there, deepest brown shade, and then just taking my time to try and redefine in the crease. Hope that this helps. Okay, that took a good minute for me to figure that out. It looks a little crazy here right now. That's not blending in quite how I want it, but we'll fix it, I hope. I kind of fixed the cut crease that way. It's a little bit more defined. Was trying to not have it look so retro 90s with like the big bold line going through. But I think we can still work with this. I'm still really liking everything so far. That's fine, whatever. Okay, so there are the eyes so far. Next we get to dive into the glitter shade. Now she uses a brush in her video. I'm gonna start with my finger and see if I need a brush from there. Before that, we're gonna dive into this center shade here, this beautiful bright pink. On the back here, it says it's called Glittering. So just going to grab that on my finger. Now this isn't as chunky of a glitter as she uses, and if I want to add a little bit more, maybe I'll go in with this other pink shade in here and put that over top. This on the finger looks a little bit more metallic, but I think it'll still give the same idea. And she just kind of focuses it, she says in the center, but it looks to be like further off to the end here, but not fully covering up all of the brown. And she just kind of creates a nice little line, basically where the light color meets with the brown. Yeah, I think I will go ahead and clean off that Detail M4213 brush here. Just try to use that to make things a little bit more precise. Oh, I could even spray it down. Let's spray it down with some setting spray. The setting spray I'm going to use today is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray and Set setting spray. So we will dampen the brush with that. Yeah, I do think just for fun, I'm going to go in with that other pink shade in here. I'm just going to use the same M213 brush. I haven't resprayed it at all, but it might be a little damp still. I'll just kind of go over with that and see what else that possibly adds. And then in her video, this is kind of where she leaves the eyeshadows for the most part, is something like this. And then she goes in, I think with a little bit of eyeliner, and applies some false lashes. I do have eyeliner that I'm going to apply, but I do want to, before that, dip into the black in here and just create a little bit of a smoky shadow liner with that, just to add a little bit more depth. And I'm going to use this Glimmer detail brush. It's just a really flat, dense brush. I'll focus most of that on the outer part here and maybe smoke out a little bit of a wing, but again, we do have an eyeliner that we are going to add as well. I don't know yet if we'll wing out the eyeliner or not, but I guess we'll see when we get there. I'm just going to barely drag it into the lighter shadow. Okay, something like that. I do think this is coming together. I think that's really fun and really cute with the placement of the glitter, or just like your punchy color or whatever. So this is really fun, loving that. So let's apply some eyeliner here. I thought, I was using the Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palette here. I also at that time had purchased a Marc Jacobs eyeliner. I think I've used this maybe once. Might as well use it again when we're using the palette. So this is a dip one, which I've talked about in so many of my brand new face videos. I'm not the best when it comes to these, but I don't know, I held on to this. I do want to give it another go here. I want to keep using it. So that's what we're going to use today. So I'm going to line the entire top lash with this. Liking that a lot. I decided not to wing it out. I'm going to let the shadows kind of do their thing. That applied really nicely. I like the addition of the eyeliner there, and that eyeliner is working really well. What do we want to do next? Let's clean up the lash, or the edge here, and then we'll apply the mascara. Let's go ahead and apply some top lash mascara here. I'm gonna use the Lash Paradise. Oh, and curl my lashes. Using our Shiseido Lash Curler. Go. Now going in with the Lash Paradise mascara. Okay, the mascara is on. I am loving how this is turning out here so far. Now, again, in her tutorial, this is where she left the top lashes and she applied some falsies. I am going to apply some individuals here in a little bit, but she also didn't do a whole lot to the bottom lash. I am going to create a little bit of a bottom lash here, so I went ahead and just quickly, just very lightly, because I'm still going to do my face here, but very lightly put a tiny dab of concealer and some setting powder just to prep under the eyes here for some eyeshadow. And what I'm going to do, we'll probably just kind of recreate what we've got going on top for the most part. So we will take our Mateo blending brush here, dip into that lightest brown shade, and then pinching the brush and just really focusing this right on the outer half. I'm trying to keep this super close to the lash line. I don't want the shadows to come too far down, I don't think. Now I'm just cleaning off that Morphe M213 brush again here, when the last thing we used on it was the glitters. So cleaning that off real quick and using that in the darker brown shade here, just focusing that a little bit higher, a little bit more directly on the lash line here, and even further back. And same brush here, not even gonna clean it off here. Now gonna go into the black shade there. Same thing, kind of in the same place as that brown, but again, just even further back and making sure we're connecting into the shadows up top. And cleaning off that brush again. Now taking the lightest shade in the palette here again and brightening up the rest of the under eye here. And of course, we cannot forget that pop of pink, so I'm gonna spray down the brush here again with the setting spray, dip into that pink right there. And I'm gonna start by pressing this on my hand here first, just in hopes to avoid any fallout. Taking this similar to the top, right at that place where the brightest, the light and the dark shadows meet. Just adding that little pop of pink. Okay, that is so cute. Like, it's the smallest amount of pink on the lower lash line there, but it's the smallest amount of pink on the lower lash line there, but it's so fun. Let's add the falsies here now. We're gonna add lower lash mascara, but I'm gonna do that after I put on the rest of my face makeup. Let's apply the individual lashes, they're not like a full false lash. So I've got these individual sections here. I prefer these over a full strip lash. And I like just kind of putting them on the outer part of the eyelash. I don't do this very often. I'm not not the best with this, but when I do play with them, it's so fun. So let's find a tweezers. So I'm gonna first take a medium one here. So this has mediums and shorts in it. So I'm gonna take a medium lash, pull it out with my tweezers. And then I use these Kish lash liners. Glue lash liners. I've got a clear and a black one. Instead of applying it directly on my eye though, like the lash liners are intended, I still go right on the band of the individual lash. And then from there, I apply to the outer lash. Something like that. That's very, very long. Even though it's a medium, it's long on me with my teeny tiny baby lashes. So I'm gonna take now, I don't know if I'll do one or two, but I'm gonna take a short lash now on the top here, do the same exact thing and apply it next to it. If I think I want another short, I'll do that right next to that as well. Okay, there are the individuals applied. To me, it feels very dramatic. The mediums are still very, very long to me. I just decided to do one medium, one short, but I do also at the same time feel like it really helps oomph up the look here. I think it is still really, really pretty. Just something I'm not used to for myself, but it's still really, really fun. Really, really happy with how everything is looking here so far. I'm gonna quickly do my face makeup off camera and then I'll be right back to talk about the final look and end the video. Okay, so here is the full face completed. I finished up the rest of my complexion products here and I am loving how the full face is looking here. Like I already loved how the eyes were looking, but now with the full face and the longer I've been wearing it here, ooh, this was so fun. I really like this technique for the eyes and I love how glam this feels. So really, really happy with how everything is looking. Now when it came to the products that I used here on my face, I wanted to try to get a combination of newer products and things that I haven't quite used a whole lot, and mostly just a lot of products in my collection that I just have not picked up a lot, like just playing with some products that I've wanted to play with and just haven't gotten around to. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of random products, but still like everything is working really, really well on the face here. So the first thing we went into was the Rare Beauty, their pore diffusing primer, this guy right here. And then in addition to that, I added a little bit of the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter just to get the face ready to go. Now the products that we used over top of that were a little bit more matte when it came to the concealer and the foundation, but I just like trying to get some of this, using this Halo Glow any opportunity that I can. So then for foundation, I wanted to get some more use out of the Revolution Conceal and Define, and I just went in with a really light layer of that. And of course, just like with the eyes, we used some of the Juvia's Place I Am Magic concealer. Went very, very light on the eyes because we had already done our eye makeup and stuff, so I didn't use a lot of this when on the face. I did some cream contouring using my favorite. This is not a lightly used product. This is a heavily used product, and I'm so sad with the amount that I have left here, but this is the NYX Professional Wonder Stick, and this is their WS04. This cream contour stick, love it. So I use that to contour and just add a little bit of depth around the face a little bit. And then we set everything down with that Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder that we used on the eyes as well. We then bronzed up the face a little bit more here with the Flower Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer in Sunrise, this guy right here. And then we blushed up the cheeks with the Milani Petal Primavera, this guy right here, they're baked blushes. And lastly, for a little bit more shine on the cheeks here, went in with a mini Jaclyn Hill iced highlighter here. And I'm loving how the cheeks are looking. I went very light with this because I went really heavy with the contour and the bronze. So I don't know how much of this you're seeing, but the glow is coming through a little bit from this, and the glow is definitely coming through from this. So that's what we've got going on the cheeks there. I prepped the lips with the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip primer. And then for lining the lips, I wanted to get some use out of this Thrive Cosmetics lip liner in the shade, I'm not gonna say that right, Geisland, just like a fun little berry shade that we used on the lips. And then over top of that, I used the Mellow Lip Gloss in the shade Street Topaz, and this is not like a sheer gloss. There is a little bit of a pigment to it, so that mixed in with the lip liner is what we've got going on here. I do think that everything is tying really nicely with each other, so loving that. That is all the face products. I am beyond happy that I finally got some use out of this Marc Jacobs palette, and I'm so happy with how the look turned out here. I would love to hear from you guys down below as to what you think of this look, and if you guys also want to go ahead and check out Liliana's Vanity channel, I'll have her link down below as well. But that's going to be everything for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to be notified of the next time that I post, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified. That's going to be it from me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye!